Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 7, The Struggle for Immortal Realm. Chapter 46, 721, Atop the Immortal Tower. 46th of Volume 7. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Ji Junxiang strode ahead, clad in a purple robe. His sword-like brows framed star-bright eyes, his gaze calm and profound, as if concealing 1,000 peerless techniques and boundless divine wisdom. An aura of the martial mystic Tao Heavenly Emperor enveloped him, his broad frame gradually obscuring the immortal tower behind him. Ku Yao and Wenrentinghai followed a step behind, flanking him on either side. Ku Yao carried an ancient, metallic spiritual staff adorned with alternating purple and crimson bands. Her entire figure was veiled in a materialized spiritual light, forming a luminous, ethereal gauze. She was taller than any woman Li Wei had ever seen, even surpassing Wenrentinghai beside her. Her proportions were flawlessly balanced. Li Wei had never met Ji Junxiang or Ku Yao before, yet he recognized them instantly. The four figures passed each other at the top of the white stone arch bridge. After descending 2 stone steps, Ji Junxiang paused, hesitating for a moment. He then took a third step, turning his head slightly to glance at the solitary figure descending the opposite side of the arch bridge, his back radiating an air of aloofness. Wenrentinghai stopped, asking curiously, "What's wrong?" Before Ji Junxiang could answer, Ku Yao, her gaze fixed on Li Wei's retreating figure, spoke, facing the three of us, yet remaining composed, his vital energy steady, his eyes neither reverent nor fearful, yet far from empty. "This man's cultivation surpasses mine. Someone like this still exists in our generation." Wenrentinghai's eyes lit up with excitement. "I must meet him." Ji Junxiang's gaze was as sharp as fire, a faint smile playing on his lips as if he had already discerned Li Wei's identity. He raised a hand to stop Wenrentinghai. "There will be opportunities for confrontation." The three of them proceeded directly toward the lakeside. "Please inform Third Young Master Lu that his visitor is an old friend from Lingxiao," Li Wei said politely to the manager of the Immortal Tower's first floor, his tone warm and respectful. Moments later, Lu Jingxian arrived with swift movements, his eyes fixed on Li Wei, who was using the disguise technique. He burst into laughter, stepped forward to embrace him, and whispered, "You. If you hadn't shown yourself soon, my brother would have gone mad with worry. You know how much pressure he faced to place you at the top of the immortal ranking. Come, let's go see him. Can I see him tonight? You're different." Lu Jingxian pulled Li Wei up the immortal tower's staircase to the 6th floor. At the landing, he pointed upward and whispered, "The 3 floors above are filled with elders from over 100 living realms, including Emperor Realm psychic masters and even the Heavenly Emperor himself." Li Wei gasped, "The one from the Zhongshan Academy." In southern Yingzhou, the human clan had 5 martial mystic Tao Heavenly Emperors but only 2 Emperor Realm psychic masters. These 7 supreme experts stood like 7 pillars supporting the heavens, safeguarding over 100 living realm homelands for the human clan. The fall of even one of them would mean the destruction of numerous living realms and the loss of countless human clan homes. Besides the Zhongshan Academy's Emperor Realm psychic master, who else could it be? Lu Jingxian asked, leading Li Wei toward Lu Jingxian's chambers. "The other one hasn't appeared in 700 years. Considering his age, it's hard to say if he's even still alive." Li Wei forced a wry smile, worried that the Zhongshan Academy's Emperor Realm psychic master had come for the Primordial Essence chapter of the Earth Book. But would someone of his cultivation level stoop to such trivial matters? More likely, he had been alarmed by Qing Si's recent massacre and was attending the ranking announcement ceremony as a convenient side trip. In Lu Jingxian's chambers, the lights blazed brightly, offering a panoramic view of half of North Lake. The immortal ranking jade steel and the 10 battlefields were clearly visible. Another figure sat within the room, Xuanhuan, the young Taoist from the Central Plains immortal sect, his wooden sword strapped to his back. As Li Wei entered, Lu Jingxian and Xuanhuan turned to him simultaneously, their faces lighting up with smiles. The 2 men before him were both exceptional individuals, one with eyes sharp and wise, the other with a gaze pure and untainted, both destined for greatness. Without another word, Li Wei dispelled his disguise technique and took the seat between the 2 men. Lu Jingxian exchanged a glance with Lu Jingxian, who immediately understood and went to carry out the task. "Congratulations, Brother Wei, on escaping the demonic claws. Now that you're back, I can finally put my worries to rest," Lu Jingxian said, immediately pouring Li Wei a cup of wine. Li Wei picked up his chopsticks, ate a few mouthfuls of food, and then accepted the wine cup. "Stop trying to get me drunk. Let me eat something first to line my stomach. Otherwise, I'll have to fight on an empty stomach later." "Did you already have a round of drinks somewhere else?" Lu Jingxian asked curiously. Li Wei mumbled, "At the number 1 scholar's place." "Why is Taoist Xuanhuan here? Is he planning to challenge the talents of southern Yingzhou?" Su Yuan bowed respectfully. This humble Taoist predicted that if you survived, you would come tonight to retrieve the 7 blood-floating pagoda demon armor from the earth-ranking scribe. Therefore, I've been a persistent guest all day, staying by young Master Lu's side without leaving his side for a moment. Li Weiyi's expression froze. Taoist Su Yuan doesn't seem to want to challenge me. What's his purpose then? From across the lake, a resonant voice echoed through the night sky. Meng Kui of the Zhongsheng Academy requests guidance from the Demon Kingdom's #1 scholar. The entire lake surface and night sky shimmered with characters from the Earth Book. For a fleeting moment, the swirling snowflakes hung motionless in midair before resuming their descent with renewed urgency. This divine spectacle drew gasps of awe from every building below the mountain. Very well, Jiyu Junxiang's voice echoed softly, as if speaking from mere inches away, yet it resonated clearly in the ears of the countless cultivators present, a display of extraordinary power concealed within utter simplicity. Meng Kui and Jiyu Junxiang soared into the sky, landing on one of the battle platforms. Li Weiyi's eyes narrowed in confusion. That's strange. Lu Jingchen, his mind as sharp as a finely honed blade, instantly grasped the source of Li Weiyi's bewilderment. He chuckled, Brother Weiyi, are you wondering why Meng Kui would challenge Jiyu Junxiang? Li Weiyi nodded. Everyone knows that the Immortal Ascension competition begins at the 4th quarter of midnight. While the formal battles won't commence until after the Xuanhuan festival in half a month. During these 2 weeks, immortals from all factions must travel, conceal themselves, strategize, and construct defensive formations. There's an overwhelming amount to prepare. For Meng Kui, tonight should be about conserving his strength and avoiding injury. Even if he wanted to issue a challenge, he should have targeted Tang Wanzhou, the #1 scholar of the Sword Dao Imperial Court, a rival of the Zhongsheng Academy, not Jiyu Junxiang. Lu Jingchen glanced toward the door. The one who can give you the answer has arrived. Footsteps echoed through the hall. Pu Yanshou, dressed in a gray-white Confucian scholar's robe and carrying a wooden scroll case on his back, entered with a bow and a smile. Master Cheng has sent me to inform Southern Dragon that Meng Kui of the Zhongsheng Academy will challenge Jiyu Junxiang tonight with all his might, seeking to retrieve Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu. Furthermore, the 7 Zhongsheng Academy disciples who were originally planning to join the Demon Kingdom's formation have been recalled and will no longer participate in your conflict. Pu Yanshou had descended from the 9th floor of the Immortal Tower. At that moment, Lu Jingchen arrived, leading the cultivation-sealed Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu, followed by 7 maidens. Each maiden carried a jade box containing a set of blood-floating pagoda demon armor. The mere presence of Master Cheng Dun was already intimidating enough. Moreover, the Zhongsheng Academy's Emperor Realm Psychic Master resided on the upper floors. If the old master himself were to speak, even Lu Jingchen would have no choice but to release the prisoners. Now that the Zhongsheng Academy had offered Li Weiyi 2 face-saving opportunities, refusing to release them would be utterly foolish. Li Weiyi lightly tapped the table and chuckled, I've finally understood. That day outside Night Demon City's Immortal Grove, Brother Yi, Brother Chu, and the other 7 were merely testing my strength, not trying to kill me. Look at this misunderstanding, it's gotten completely out of hand. A misunderstanding. Fine, let's call it a misunderstanding. Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu, their spirits completely broken by the millstone's sharp edges, still hadn't grown back their body hair. Now that the misunderstanding is dispelled, I'll take them with me, Pu Yanshou said. Please convey my regards to Master Cheng, Li Weiyi replied. Under his guidance, the various factions of the Zhongsheng Academy will surely unite. Li Weiyi was subtly informing Pu Yanshou and Cheng Dun that he understood their true motive in having Meng Kui rescue Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu, and in orchestrating the withdrawal of the Zhongsheng Academy's 7 members from the Demon Kingdom's formation. Their ultimate goal was to use this opportunity to establish Meng Kui as the leader of the Zhongsheng Academy's younger generation, gradually fostering a spirit of unity among the 100 schools of Zhongsheng Academy. Pu Yanshou, understanding the unspoken meaning, smiled and took his leave, escorting Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu down from the Immortal Tower. Whoosh! The spiritual chi in the heavens and earth coalesced into a vast, swirling vortex spanning dozens of miles, continuously converging upon Meng Kui's body on the battlefield above the river. His vital energy surged with increasing intensity. A verdant cloud gathered above North Lake. The sea of characters pulsed rhythmically across the battlefield. The 100 sages, bow to the heavenly. Towering sage shadows materialized around Meng Kui, merging with the verdant cloud and the sea of characters, bowing in unison. They were not bowing to Jiyu Junxiang, the heavenly emperor Junxiang, but to the heavens and earth themselves. To borrow the power of the heaven and earth, reverence was due. This is the true power of the 100 sages, bow to the heaven. Li Weiyi exclaimed in awe. Meng Kui's bow in Mengqing Garden lacked the grandeur and resolve of tonight's display, its power significantly diminished. Clearly, his desire to defeat Jiyu Junxiang's heart ran deep, far beyond merely going through the motions to rescue Yi Tianchen and Chu Fangshu. The 4 figures in the hall were utterly captivated by the spectacle. Xuanhuan remarked, "A million profound perceptions, 10 million harmonious laws. Meng Kui is just a hair's breadth away from the profound perception realm." The million profound perceptions referred to the scriptures on one's immortal golden core. Surpassing a million scriptures allowed one to perceive certain laws of the universe. The 10 million harmonious laws signified cultivating over 10 million scriptures, enabling one to draw these laws into their body and begin forging the other sure heavenly core. Each time one's scripture count crossed a million level threshold, their cultivation strength would leap dramatically, often requiring a breakthrough to a higher cultivation realm. Boom. The formations surrounding the battlefield trembled violently, its radiance intensifying to a blinding brilliance. When the smoke cleared, Meng Kui stood disheveled beneath the formation's shimmering barrier at the edge of the battlefield, blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. Across from him, Jiyu Junxiang's face cycled through shades of green, purple, and white before settling into its usual calm. He praised Meng Kui with genuine admiration. "When I was in the immortal realm, I never encountered a peer as formidable as you. Had I not reached the profound perception realm, I would have been wounded by your 100 sages, bow to the heaven. The flawless 9 springs lives up to its name. I've learned much today." Meng Kui conceded defeat and departed. A thunderous commotion erupted around North Lake. Even Meng Kui, with all his skill, couldn't injure Jiyu Junxiang. In previous years, he would have been a contender for the top spot. He should have challenged Mo Duanfeng, the Holy Dynasty's top scholar. His chances of victory would have been far greater. Jiyu Junxiang's flawless 9 springs leaves no openings. Jiyu Junxiang has reached the profound perception realm. He's the first person in 3,000 years to possess profound perception in the 4th realm of the immortal realm. The last one was Yu Yaozi. It seems Li Weiyi's reign as the top-ranked cultivator on the immortal ranking is about to end. So what if he has profound perception? I doubt it's stronger than the Demon Emperor's holy embryo. The Southern Dragon severed the Demon Emperor's holy embryo's head with a single strike. How can Jiyu Junxiang compare? The flawless 9 springs is destined to lack the top spot on the Earth ranking in this era. Under Nangong's leadership, the young martial mystic cultivators of the 3-clan alliance gathered beneath the Earth ranking Jade Steel, sparking chaos and heated arguments. Then summon the Southern Dragon immediately. Emperor Junxiang will grant him a swift defeat. I fear the so-called Southern Dragon has already become a dead dragon. Wenren Tinghai, Kai Yuan, and a massive wave of Demon Kingdom experts surged forward, encircling the young cultivators of the 3-clan alliance like a rising tide. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 7. The Struggle for Immortal Realm. Chapter 47, 722, Important News from the Central Plains Immortal Dynasty. 47th of Volume 7. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Jiyu Junxiang has actually developed profound perception. In the 6th floor hall of Immortal Tower, Li Weiyi, Su Yuan, and Lu Jingshan, all top-tier experts under 100 years old, wore solemn expressions. Li Weiyi and Tang Wanzhou had spent decades cultivating in the Nether Domain, Chun Cocoon, and Time Cocoon combined. However, compared to the first sequence experts on the immortal ranking who had cultivated for centuries, the deficiency in the number of scriptures within their golden cores was glaringly apparent. Tang Wanzhou, at the peak of the 4th realm of the immortal realm, fared slightly better, having accumulated nearly 900,000 immortal scriptures. This was due to her use of the Dragon Soul Source Light, which allowed her to condense scriptures at a pace far surpassing Jiyu Junxiang's. Li Weiyi, currently at the peak of the 3rd realm of the immortal realm, lagged significantly behind the top contenders on the immortal ranking, with just over 800,000 scriptures. The greater the number of immortal scriptures within one's golden core, the deeper one's cultivation naturally became. This resulted in faster spiritual qi circulation, swifter Dao technique execution, and purer spiritual qi. Typically, martial mystic cultivators only surpassed 1 million immortal scriptures upon reaching the 5th realm of the immortal realm. Lu Jingshan exclaimed in astonishment, "Second brother, Jiyu Junxiang only recently broke through to the peak of the 4th realm, right? Over the next decade, as he attempts to break through the 5th immortal shackle, his scripture count will undoubtedly surge. By then, even the great immortal experts of the 5th realm will likely struggle to match him." A smile first appeared on Su Yuan's face. Cultivating profound perception in the 4th realm is indeed a remarkable achievement. But it's not as exaggerated as everyone claims. How could only one person achieve it every 3,000 years? Most immortal realm martial mystic cultivators never encounter the immortal ranking at their peak. Whether they've cultivated profound perception in the 4th realm remains unknown to the public. Lu Jingshan turned to Li Weiyi. Cultivating profound perception grants the ability to transform the mundane into the extraordinary. Casting Dao techniques requires only a thought. Without a duel between you two, I, as the scribe, truly wouldn't know how to determine the top spot. I intend to hold the top position until midnight, Li Wei said after a pause. I've placed a substantial bet at the Fate Gambling House. I can't afford to lose. Su Yuan and the Lu brothers couldn't help but chuckle at this. Below the mountain, near the jade steel of the immortal ranking, the conflict between the young martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance and those of the Demon Kingdom faction intensified. Li Wei keenly observed that among the Demon Kingdom faction's martial mystic cultivators, beyond Wenren Tinghai and Qiyuan, there were 7 or 8 other formidable experts with remarkable spiritual qi auras. Half of them were from the demon race. Lu Jingchen gazed at the chaos below. The death of Tai Sui Earth Monarch has triggered a seismic upheaval across the great wilderness demon plains. Nearly all the demon race's top experts under 100 years old have rushed to Xiaoyao capital. Among them are 4 whose strength rivals Qiyuan's. These 4 demons once joined forces and defeated Shan Shenzh within 20 rounds. If they were to wear the blood-floating pagoda demon armor and form the 4th-tier floating pagoda formation, Yuanjiyu Junxiang would likely suffer severe injuries from a single strike. Li Wei's expression turned solemn. He didn't doubt Lu Jingchen's assessment, knowing firsthand the terrifying power of a coordinated attack. Back in the Void Ruins Ancient Kingdom, Li Wei and Mo Duanfeng's individual combat prowess couldn't match Chu Yudian's. Yet, by combining their strengths, they had managed to overwhelm him. For a cultivator at the first sequence, attempting to fight 2 opponents simultaneously was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. To take on 3 opponents, only those with flawless techniques, like Li Wei and Ji Yu Junxiang, whose offensive, defensive, and speed capabilities were all at their peak, could have any confidence of success. This was no different from facing 3 great immortal experts at the 5th realm of the Immortal Realm. All 30 of the first sequence's top experts possessed the ability to defeat great immortal cultivators at the 5th realm. Lu Jingchen continued, standing beside Wenren Tinghai as a towering figure, 10 feet tall, with a white dragon's head and whiskers, and aberrant humanoid male. He is Long Qi, the adopted son of Nine-Tailed Dragon, the leader of the demon ministers. The woman shrouded in black mist, carrying a bow and arrows, is Cao Lin, the head of the hidden sect of the Cao clan, the clan to which the demon queen belongs. Li Wei listened quietly as Lu Jingchen explained that the Demon Kingdom had exhausted its resources for this immortal ascension competition, exposing all its hidden sects and secret experts, sparing no expense. Lu Jingchen continued, what you see here is only a fraction of their forces. At the Chong clan's invitation, Shenji and Qi Jianru of the Calamity Crossing Temple have joined the Demon Kingdom's ranks and will target you as well. Li Wei stored all 7 blood-floating pagoda demon armors into his cosmic pouch, preparing to descend and meet Nangong and Lu Yi to discuss their battle strategy for the coming dawn. Su Yuan, clad in Taoist robes, finally revealed why he had been waiting for Li Wei. Fellow Taoist Li, would you have time to accompany this humble Taoist to meet Prince Jingxuan of the Yuheng Immortal Dynasty? Several seniors from the Immortal Dynasty also wish to meet you. Li Wei offered an apologetic look. I deeply admire the Central Plains' immortal dynasty and have long desired to forge ties and pay my respects. However, tonight, as you can see, I am stretched too thin. If the opportunity arises in the future, I will certainly visit Central Plains. Su Yuan replied, I have crucial information concerning the Immortal Ascension competition. Have you heard of the body-crossing transmutation pill? Even the erudite Lu Jingchen showed a look of confusion and contemplation. Li Wei shook his head slightly, his curiosity piqued. Taoist Su Yuan, why do you suddenly mention the body-transcending pill? Su Yuan began his explanation. The era of immortal master Zongsheng Qingyan was nearly 100,000 years ago. At that time, the most powerful cultivators of the Yingzhou human race initiated a grand alchemical movement. Their slogan was, overcome the obstacles of cultivation and shatter the barriers of the heavenly Tao, and their research focused on developing medicinal pills to aid cultivators in breaking through realms. The Immortal Pill, which helps martial mystic cultivators break through to the Immortal Realm, and the Holy Spirit Pill, which assists psychic masters in reaching the Holy Spiritual Master Realm, were both developed during this period. Afterward, the number of Immortal Realm martial mystic cultivators and Holy Spiritual Masters multiplied exponentially, like bamboo shoots after a spring rain. Young Master Lu, you must be familiar with this great alchemical movement, correct? Lu Jingchen nodded. Unfortunately, the Immortal Pill and Holy Spirit Pill were later monopolized by ancient sects and the imperial court. The pill formulas became top secret, inaccessible even to the martial mystic Tao Heavenly Emperor and Emperor Psychic Master. Li Wei immediately understood why the Lingxiao Palace lacked the Immortal Pill formula and was thus beholden to the Calamity Crossing Temple. The Immortal Pill and Holy Spirit Pill were merely low-grade spiritual pills. Su Yuan continued, during that time, they also researched emperor-grade spiritual pills, specifically the Nirvana Transcending Pill, intended to help cultivators break through to the Nirvana realm. Alas, the research ended in failure. However, amidst the furnace slag, they discovered a discarded pill, the Body Transcending Pill. From this chapter onward, the Other Shore Realm will be renamed the Nirvana Realm, as the term Nirvana feels more refined and succinct. Spiritual pills are classified into 7 grades. Low grade, mid grade, high grade, supreme grade, emperor grade, king grade, holy grade. Li Wei had only glimpsed a high grade spiritual pill, the Holy King Star Heavenly Pill, once. It was so exorbitantly priced that he couldn't afford it. Emperor grade spiritual pills were legendary treasures imbued with acquired spirituality. Li Wei asked, what is the effect of this body transcending pill? It allows a martial mystic cultivator to break any single immortal shackle within a year. About a year ago, the Demon Queen of the Demon Kingdom purchased a key ingredient for crafting the body transcending pill, the Nirvana Divine Bodhi Grass, an Emperor Herb, from the Immortal Sect. Su Yuan's words stunned Li Wei and Lu Jingchen. In the 3-year Immortal Ascension competition, whoever first broke through to the 5th realm of the Immortal Realm would gain an absolute advantage. The Void Ruins ancient clan possessed the Chun Silkworm, giving them the confidence to wager the Life Spring. Their advantage would only grow stronger as the competition progressed. The Demon Kingdom had the Nether Spirit ancient tree. Well, not anymore. In short, each major power held its own trump cards, preventing any single faction from dominating. Instead, they were locked in a relentless cycle of pursuit and competition. The emergence of the body transcending pill would undoubtedly shatter this delicate balance. No wonder Lu Jingchen had never heard of this pill. Crafting the body transcending pill required materials of emperor-grade spiritual pill quality, yet its effect was limited to helping a martial mystic cultivator break a single immortal shackle within a year. The fact that its pill formula had survived at all was nothing short of a miracle. It's practically useless. The higher the 7 shackles of Immortal Realm, the more time it takes to break them. Ji Junxiang spent approximately 6 years breaking the 4th immortal shackle. By extrapolation, breaking the 5th immortal shackle would require at least 10 years. Lu Jingchen seemed to be talking to himself, but he was actually conveying crucial information to Li Wei and helping him analyze the situation. Though the Demon Kingdom has lost the Nether Spirit ancient tree, they still possess the time formation. Combined with the body transcending pill, Lu Jingchen didn't need to elaborate. Li Wei already understood the gravity of the situation, and he looked at the 2 men with gratitude. Thank you, Taoist Su Yuan, for sharing this vital information. Without it, we would have been caught completely off guard. May I ask, how many body transcending pills can be refined from a single Nirvana Divine Bodhi Grass as the primary ingredient? And how much time is required for the refinement process? Su Yuan answered without hesitation, the exact number is difficult to say, as no one has ever attempted to refine such a time-consuming, resource-intensive, and ultimately unprofitable spiritual pill. However, according to historical records, the entire process, from refinement to nurturing the pills, takes approximately 1 year. Li Wei's heart sank into the abyss. Pill refinement requires stability, and the success rate would be extremely low within the time formation and nether domain. Even without these methods, if the Demon Queen had begun refining the pills a year ago, they would be nearing completion by now. The current situation was already fraught with peril. If news of the body transcending pill were to spread, the martial mystic cultivators of the 3-clan alliance would likely collapse instantly. Su Yuan said, this humble Taoist and Prince Jingxuan wished to forge a friendship with fellow Taoist Li. We sent a letter back to Central Plains some time ago and have already received a reply. Surprisingly, 3 body transcending pills were discovered in the Yuheng Immortal Dynasty's celestial treasury. They had been sealed away many years ago and long forgotten. We don't even know if they're still effective. Li Wei's spirits soared. He clapped Su Yuan heavily on the shoulder. Even if I'm swamped tonight, I'll make time to visit Prince Jingxuan. Taoist Su Yuan, brother Su Yuan, let's drink 3 cups first. Beneath the Earth-ranking jade tablet, a clamor arose. Tell the Earth Ranking's chief scribe to remove the name of that dead man and list the Demon Kingdom's #1 scholar, Ji Junxiang, at the top. Another voice sneered, what kind of martial mystic cultivators are those from the Holy Hall's Life Realm, Lingxiao Palace, and Rainforest Living Realm? Daring to participate in the Immortal Ascension competition. They'd better be careful, they might not even get the chance to surrender before I capture them alive. If you're going to capture anyone, capture the Holy Maiden of Time. I've been dying to see what kind of face hides beneath that mask. If her looks are as captivating as her figure. Heh, in 3 years, she might be carrying a demon fetus for me. Rumor has it the Holy Master of the Holy Hall's Life Realm was devoured whole by Corpse Emperor Hunwu. What does the flesh of a top-tier human race transcendent taste like? Two top experts from the demon race, Prince Tulu of the Bat clan and Qiyuan of the Luan clan, were tasked with provoking the young martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance. Their mission was to probe Nangong's cultivation strength and uncover any hidden masters within the Void Ruins ancient clan. The Demon Kingdom believed that the Void Ruins ancient clan's willingness to wager the spring of life indicated that the ninth-generation immortal ascendants possessed far greater power than their apparent strength suggested. This was an opportunity to identify the holder of the Life Spring Jade Scroll. As expected, a martial mystic cultivator from the Holy Hall's Life Realm, unable to endure such provocation and humiliation, coldly retorted, "Your insults and verbal assaults are no less offensive." He unleashed spiritual chi from his ancestral field, condensing 12 battle swords above his head that slashed toward the most arrogant of the pair, Qiyuan. Swish. Swish. Seeing his opponent finally make a move, a smile flickered across Qiyuan's eyes, quickly hardening into murderous intent. Demonic chi and immortal scripture emanated from his body, blocking the 12 spiritual chi battle swords. His fingers transformed into razor-sharp claws as he lunged forward with lightning speed, aiming straight for the fourth realm martial mystic cultivator's heart. Nangong's eyes narrowed behind her mask as she sensed Qiyuan's killing intent. She immediately activated her body technique to intercept the attack. Haha, where do you think you're going, holy maiden? Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu had anticipated this move. Their figures blurred like phantoms, each moving faster than the other, materializing like specters to Nangong's left and right. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 7, The Struggle for Immortal Realm. Chapter 48, 723, Li Wai appears. 48th of Volume 7. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. PFF'd. Blood splattered into the air. The fourth realm martial mystic cultivator from the Holy Hall Life Realm had narrowly avoided a fatal blow to his heart. However, Kai Yuan's claw tore away a large chunk of flesh from his left arm, exposing the golden bone beneath. The cultivator froze in shock, never expecting such ferocity from the demon. It had clearly intended to kill him. This is human clan territory, during the grand ranking competition. Kai Yuan retreated to the Demon Kingdom formation, leaving no opportunity for a second strike. Across the battlefield, the martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance had already summoned their spiritual artifacts. Boom. Nangong, fighting two opponents simultaneously, was sent flying backward by Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu. A sharp bat wing slashed across her mask, splitting it in two. The jade-like face beneath the mask was revealed. Enveloped in the luminous mist, she possessed both an ethereal beauty that transcended mortal realms and a hazy allure that sparked endless imagination. A collective gasp of awe rippled through the crowd. Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu had originally intended to cripple Nangong, turning the leader of the Void Ruins ancient clan into a burden for her people within the next half-month. Instead, they found themselves momentarily stunned by her transcendent beauty. By the time the demon and the human regained their senses, the young martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance had already formed a battle formation. There was no time left. Kai Yuan swallowed the torn flesh from his claws, wiped away the blood, and grinned. Prince Tulu, the holy maiden of the Void Ruins ancient clan's beauty hasn't disappointed you, has it? How could I be disappointed? This is the greatest reward of my visit to the Demon Kingdom. I only regret not meeting the holy maiden sooner. Prince Tulu sighed regretfully, then asked earnestly, if the holy maiden would grace my chambers tonight, I would immediately abandon my sect and pledge allegiance to the Void Ruins ancient clan. I share that sentiment. Another powerful demon cultivator roared with laughter, since she's serving Prince Tulu tonight, I'll reserve her for tomorrow night. Taunts and provocative remarks erupted from the crowd. The martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance seethed with rage, trading insults with the demons. Nangong remained calm, her rationality unshaken. She turned to the immortal tower. Kai Yuan, a demon cultivator, is causing chaos at the ranking competition, attempting to kill the human clan's heavens chosen. I urge the competition enforcers to administer justice impartially. Wenren Tinghai bowed toward immortal tower. It was the martial mystic cultivator from the Holy Hall Life Realm who first drew his 12 swords, intending to kill Kai Yuan, the honored guest of the human clan. Kai Yuan had no choice but to retaliate, he couldn't just stand there and wait to die, could he? Wenren Tinghai had learned this tactic of exaggeration from Li Wai. Kai Yuan sighed. The demon clan and the human clan are steadfast allies against the nether realm of the dead. My participation in the Immortal Ascension competition was ordered by my grandmother, Demon Empress Flying Phoenix. She believes that our two clans should foster deep friendships and mutual support among the younger generation. He continued, yet first, Li Wai cruelly murdered the Tai Sui Earth Monarch, shattering the alliance between our clans. Now, the martial mystic cultivator from the Holy Hall Life Realm resorts to violence at the slightest disagreement. Originally, Demon Empress Flying Phoenix had resolved that if the conflict with the Holy Hall Life Realm escalated, the demon clan would inevitably intervene. But now, the more I consider this, the more my heart grows cold. From within Immortal Tower atop the mountain, a hearty laugh rang out. Brother Kai Yuan, your words are impeccably reasoned, leaving no room for criticism. There's only one flaw. Demon Empress Flying Phoenix has done nothing, yet she has lost all face from a million miles away. Many martial mystic cultivators present recognized the voices belonging to Li Wei. A commotion erupted on the distant shores of North Lake. Beneath the earth-ranking jade steel, the young martial mystic cultivators exchanged brief whispers before their gazes unanimously turned toward the brilliantly lit Immortal Tower atop the mountain. That voice. It's Li Wei, the number one on the immortal ranking, Kai Yuan said coldly to the demon clan experts beside him. Excellent. I thought he was dead. Only by killing him can our demon clan regain its honor. Does this mean we have a chance to seize an emperor-grade rare insect? The demon clan experts grinned, rubbing their hands together, eager for battle. He's still alive. Wenren Tinghai frowned deeply, his heart heavy. He had long harbored both fear and resentment toward Li Wei, his enemy. The young martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance, naturally overjoyed, their eyes burned with fervor, their morale soaring. Nangong gazed at the Immortal Tower and smiled. Southern Dragon's words struck right at the heart of the matter. Well said. Kai Yuan, by invoking the Demon Empress Flying Phoenix to excuse yourself, you've only brought shame upon her. Inside Immortal Tower, Li Wei heard Lady Ji Chun's telepathic message, release the two strange insects. Lady Ji Chun couldn't possibly be unaware that Emperor Psychic Masters and the Heavenly Emperor were present in Immortal Tower, yet she still instructed him to proceed with the original plan, to unleash the Phoenix-winged Moth Emperor in a high-profile battle. Was she truly so confident in the blood of the Phoenix-winged dragon-winged butterfly? Kai Yuan, you acted recklessly first, then injured others. The Holy Hall Life Realm martial mystic cultivator spoke the truth, verbal insults are still insults. Li Wei rose and walked to the sixth-floor balcony, gazing down at the earth-ranking jade steel by the river below. He raised his voice, if I don't teach you a lesson, when word of this reaches the great wilderness demon plains, the demon clan will think our human clan is easy to bully. Well said. Above Immortal Tower, a human transcendent's voice echoed softly, audible only to those within the tower. Li Wei, Jiyu Junxiang is waiting for you on the battlefield. Are you afraid to face him, so you're diverting your anger toward me? Kai Yuan showed no fear, surrounded by a cloud of powerful allies. Even if Li Wei had 3 heads and 6 arms, he wouldn't escape alive. Li Wei sneered, you're not even worthy of my personal attention. The moment he finished speaking. Sizzle. Seventh Phoenix rapidly expanded before Kai Yuan, its wings trembling with a fierce, gale-like force, as if materializing from thin air. Its razor-sharp, pale golden membranous wings slashed directly toward Kai Yuan's eyes. Kai Yuan was struck with terror, never imagining a strange insect could get so close. Blinding light filled his vision, rendering him momentarily blind. He could only see a golden flash hurtling toward his eyes. Reacting almost instinctively, he activated his protective spiritual chi barrier and retreated swiftly. In that instant, Kai Yuan displayed the reaction speed of a true disciple of the ancient sect, narrowly avoiding 7 Phoenix's wings, which had aimed to decapitate him. Boom. The protective spiritual chi barrier shattered. A sharp pain shot through Kai Yuan's left arm as 2 of 7th Phoenix's claws pierced through his spiritual artifact martial garment and flesh. His right hand clenched into a claw, immediately reaching for 7th Phoenix's neck in a grappling motion. A sudden, violent tug on his left arm threw Kai Yuan off balance, sending him flying backward. With a splash, he crashed into the river beside the earth-ranking jade steel. 7th Phoenix, frustrated at failing to tear off Kai Yuan's left arm, let out a frustrated hiss. The ambush and clash had unfolded in the blink of an eye, as swift as lightning and fire. That's Li Wei's emperor-grade rare insect. Capture it. After a brief moment of shock, Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu of the Demon Kingdom shot forward, each employing their unique methods to capture 7th Phoenix. Having witnessed Kai Yuan's swift defeat in a single exchange, they exercised extreme caution, activating their blood-floating pagoda demon armor for protection. One unleashed a net-like spiritual artifact, while the other summoned a cage of immortal sutra scriptures. Sizzle. 7th Phoenix shrank to the size of dust, vanishing into the shadows. What a formidable strange insect, Wenren Tinghai remarked, activating his black and white realm. His body and the surrounding world split into stark halves, allowing him to sense the abnormal chi fluctuations within the realm. It's heading toward the Immortal Tower. Darkness descends. Reveal yourself. The dark power within Wenren Tinghai's black and white realm originated from the sacred dark family. Layer upon layer of dark vibrational force rippled outward like black silk, enveloping 7th Phoenix. Sizzle. Seventh Phoenix's body expanded again, reappearing in full view. Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu closed in. A finely woven silver spiritual artifact net descended upon Seventh Phoenix. Whoosh! Fifth Phoenix spread her wings, unleashing meteor-like speed. Her membranous wings sliced through the silver net above Seventh Phoenix's head, tearing it in two. The fifth Phoenix was not only swift but also possessed the hardest and sharpest membranous wings, etched with ancient runes that shimmered faintly. The seventh Phoenix engaged Wenren Tinghai, constantly shrinking its invisibility, shifting positions, and launching surprise attacks. Meanwhile, the fifth Phoenix and Prince Tulu soared through the air, weaving up and down as they headed toward North Lake. Li Wei and Su Yuan descended the stairs at a leisurely pace, conversing casually, their confidence in the strange insect's capabilities evident. For the fifth Phoenix and seventh Phoenix, both at the early fourth immortal realm, defeating powerhouses like Wenren Tinghai and Kai Yuan in a direct confrontation would be nearly impossible. However, combat prowess was never their strength. Their true mastery lay in stealth, reconnaissance, ambush tactics, and swift escapes. Kai Yuan emerged from the river, his face ashen and his eyes burning with fury. His entire left arm had been shredded into ribbons of flesh by the seventh Phoenix's razor-sharp claws, exposing the bone beneath. The strange insect's strength was immense, its claws as sharp as spiritual artifacts. This grievous injury meant his arm's full strength would not recover for at least a month. The demon empress Flying Phoenix's own grandson can't even handle a single strange insect. Flying Phoenix has lost face again. In my opinion, Kai Yuan should withdraw from the Immortal Ascension competition. If he encounters Southern Dragon, his life will be in grave danger. Kai Yuan had not only suffered a crushing defeat but had also become the laughingstock of human martial mystic cultivators. The immortals of the various living realms voiced such opinions, their gazes fixed on the two strange insects clashing in the arena, their hearts filled with shock. Wenren Tinghai and Prince Tulu, both comparable to first-tier powerhouses, had been unable to break through Li Wei's two strange insects despite prolonged attacks. This was simply astonishing. Most living realm powerhouses lacked such strength, yet Li Wei possessed 7 of these creatures. Fortunately, the Immortal Ascension competition rules stipulate that a martial mystic cultivator can only bring 2 non-human allies. Otherwise, Li Wei would have given the Demon Kingdom a massive headache, one immortal remarked. Li Wei can only bring 2 strange insects. The remaining 5 could be entrusted to martial mystic cultivators from the Holy Hall Life realm. The 3 clan alliances' strength would instantly surge. It's not that simple. Would Li Wei dare lend such precious treasures to others? Even if the borrower were strong enough to protect the insects, their character would face the ultimate test. Li Wei and Su Yuan emerged from the Immortal Tower and descended the mountain toward the earth-ranking Jade Steel. Li Wei glanced upward at Wenren Tinghai, who was still locked in combat with 7th Phoenix, and sighed softly. The Demon Kingdom's Tanhua is now only worthy of clashing with one of my strange insects. It seems Brother Tinghai won't be able to hold on to his last place position in the Immortal Rankings first tier. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 7, The Struggle for Immortal Realm. Chapter 49, 724, The Second Palace Master. 49th of Volume 7. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Wenren Tinghai, clad in the blood-floating pagoda demon armor, proved nearly impenetrable to 7th Phoenix's attacks. Prolonged combat would inevitably lead to her defeat. Sensing the opportune moment, she withdrew. 7th Phoenix, return. You've already taught the Kai Yuan a lesson. When the Immortal Ascension competition begins, we'll retrieve the Jade Tome from Tanhua Lang. I recall the rules. Even if one concedes and withdraws, they must forfeit all their treasures, Li Wei said. You're too greedy and misremembering. Nangong deliberately played along. Those who concede only need to surrender the Jade Tome and all battle weapons and spiritual artifacts. As 7th Phoenix and 5th Phoenix flew back to Li Wei, Wenren Tinghai, feeling he had lost face for the Demon Kingdom, retreated while telepathically contacting the Demon Clan's 4 great experts. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. 4 wind-splitting sounds erupted as figures hurtled toward Li Wei from all directions. Before Li Wei and Su Yuan, a rolling demon cloud blotted out the sky, surging forward like a tidal wave hundreds of feet high. Its overwhelming power and chi threatened to flatten the Immortal Tower and lake-gazing green mountain behind them. The dense demon cloud crackled with lightning and thunder, its fiery depths swirling with scriptures piled into mountainous formations. At that moment, Li Wei finally believed that the 4 demons could defeat Shan Sheng in 20 rounds, he would have believed it in 10. Trapped in such a coordinated attack, the outcome would be decided in a single, overwhelming wave. The 4 demons converged from all directions, each unleashing a simultaneous strike. Half of the top 10 on the immortal ranking would fall before these 4 attacks, with no escape, no defense, and no way to block them. Shan Shenzhe's ability to withstand 20 rounds was already a feat of superhuman strength. The wooden sword on Su Yuan's back trembled as he straightened his posture, gazing defiantly at the boundless demon cloud. Shall this Taoist assist you in slaying these demons? Mere petty demons, Li Wei replied. Brother Su Yuan's aid is unnecessary. Please wait a moment. Li Wei summoned his 3-meter-long myriad manifestation staff spear, gripping it firmly. His figure stood tall and imposing, his robes billowing in the wind and snow as he strode forward. Whoosh! A beam of light shot from the spear's tip, piercing the heavens. With a thunderous roar, the low, dark clouds were blasted apart, revealing a pristine, starlit sky. The clouds parted like a shattered celestial dome. Crash! Strands of starlight radiance were drawn down, transforming the estate beneath lake-gazing Green Mountain into a radiant sea of starlight. Star track patterns and formation plate lines swirled around Li Wei. He, along with the 5th Phoenix and 7th Phoenix, formed the Sun, Moon, and Stars Grand Formation. As the formation solidified, it crashed into the demon cloud like a grinding stone, then swept through it with overwhelming force, driving the demon cloud toward North Lake. Within the demon cloud, the roar of battle never ceased, and waves of energy rippled outward. When Li Wei's relentless advance reached the embankment of North Lake, he raised his spear horizontally, unleashing a torrent of spiritual qi. The demon clan's 4 great experts, all wounded, plunged into the icy lake in various postures, sending massive splashes erupting into the air. From the buildings lining the shores of North Lake, and from the open spaces beyond, thunderous cheers erupted. Countless eyes fixed on the towering figure standing spear in hand at the distant lakeshore, his body wreathed in starlight. He was the strongest being under 100 years old in southern Yingzhou. Li Wei's triumphant stance radiated irresistible charisma, ruthless yet clean. His decisive victory set the blood of the 3 clan alliance's martial mystic cultivators boiling. They were utterly captivated, yearning to follow him for eternity. This was the true aura of a leader, dispelling the shadows in their hearts. Even in the most desperate battles, following him seemed to offer a glimmer of hope. Excellent. In a pavilion overlooking North Lake, Changshu stood on the 3rd floor and couldn't help but roar, slamming his fist against the railing. The pavilion trembled, and the formation scriptures flickered. He had been worried sick these past few days. If Li Wei had truly died at the hands of the Qingxi demonic head, Changshu would have suffered a massive loss. Today, after the immortal ranking was announced, Changshu had been even more anxious. In his mind, the 220,000 spiritual crystals were already in his pocket, finally recouping all the losses he had accumulated over centuries, with a substantial profit to spare. His bad debts could finally be cleared. If Li Wei hadn't shown up tonight, Changshu would have lost those 220,000 spiritual crystals and spent the next few years in bitter regret. Now, at last, a great weight had lifted from his heart. No wonder even a transcendent like him would lose his composure. Seeing the young and old cultivators of the demon kingdom all staring at him, Changshu forced down his excitement, stroked his beard, and focused his gaze. Good, good. Li Wei is truly remarkable. His combined attack formation is astonishingly powerful. HMPH, have you devised a plan to counter him? Many immortals in the demon kingdom were aware of Shan Shenzhe's sparring matches with the 4 great demon clan experts, giving them a profound understanding of Li Wei's current combat prowess. They held their breath for a long moment, hearing only the pounding of their own hearts. Wenren Tinghai clenched his fists, his voice ringing with accusation. Li Wei, it's one thing to bring 2 strange insects, but are you also planning to bring the heavenly spiritual cub and earth spiritual child on your spear to the immortal ascension competition? With these words, he aimed to convince everyone that Li Wei hadn't defeated the 4 great demon clan experts through his own strength alone. In fact, Li Wei had held the numerical advantage. This was a desperate attempt to rally the demon kingdom's flagging morale. Zhuoqiu Hongting and the young martial mystic cultivators from Calamity Crossing Temple arrived at the estate housing the earth-ranking Jade Steel. From a distance, she called out, "You should be grateful the rules of the Immortal Ascension competition protect you. Otherwise, Li Wei and his 7 strange insects could form a formation capable of challenging a great immortal expert in the 6th realm of the Immortal Realm. How would you stand a chance?" Her words were, of course, an exaggeration meant to intimidate. In reality, the other 5 phoenixes hadn't reached the strength of the 5th phoenix or 7th phoenix, remaining at the 3rd immortal realm. Splash! The 4 demon clan powerhouses erupted from the water, unleashing piercing sonic waves with their roars. The 4 demons simultaneously activated their blood-floating pagoda demon armor, crimson demonic runes covering their bodies. Demonic clouds and formation scriptures merged the vital energy of the 4 great experts, amplifying their battle prowess far beyond its previous level. Li Wei, let's go again. Prince Tulu of the 4 demons roared coldly. From within the immortal tower, Cheng Dun's aged voice echoed, "Are the 10 battlefields merely for show? If you wish to fight, do so in the arenas. Entering the battlefield arenas required fair, one-on-one combat. Everyone knew the four great demon clans. Experts were attacking to exhaust Li Wei, perhaps even severely injure him. Old Master Cheng was blatantly favoring the three-clan alliance. This renowned Neo-Confucian scholar harbored deep-seated hatred for the demon clan. On the lake's surface, within one of the battlefields, Jiyu Junxiang's voice drifted softly. Brother Wei, I've been waiting long for this. Might you grace me with your guidance tonight? The martial mystic cultivators of the three-clan alliance grew anxious. The demon kingdom had countless experts. Losing Jiyu Junxiang would hardly matter. But their side couldn't afford to lose Li Wei, just as the demon kingdom couldn't afford to lose Xiaoyao capital. If Li Wei were severely injured in this battle, the three-clan alliance would face a dire disadvantage in the upcoming Immortal Ascension competition. Ha ha ha. Mo Duanfeng's thunderous laughter reverberated across North Lake. His massive figure leapt from the rooftop, shouldering his blade as he headed toward North Lake. With a light tap of his toes on the water's surface, he soared through the air from 100 zhang above, landing in the battlefield where Jiyu Junxiang stood. Mo Duanfeng first sized up his opponent before shouting across the distance, Wei, don't blame old Mo for getting here first. What can I say? I'm older, so you have to let me have this one. Alright. Be careful, and I'll treat you to drinks after we're done. Li Wei understood perfectly that Mo Duanfeng shared Tang Wanzhou's intentions. Knowing the dangerous situation he faced, both men wanted to help him severely injure Jiyu Junxiang. Take this. Mo Duanfeng activated his fire god armor, flames engulfing his entire body. Without hesitation, he unleashed his spiritual qi, charging forward with explosive force. His momentum surged to its peak as he swung his blade in wide, sweeping arcs. As countless eyes watched the clash between these number one scholars, chaotic footsteps and clamorous voices erupted at the entrance to the estate housing the earth-ranking Jade Steel. The Crown Princess's Phoenix carriage. Someone whispered in awe, quickly retreating to the side. Even Li Wei's heart skipped a beat at the mention of the Crown Princess, his gaze shifting toward the commotion. In the Demon Kingdom, who else could claim the title of Crown Princess? The Crown Princess's Phoenix carriage, radiant with golden light and dazzling jewels, floated through the air, drawn by 100 multicolored birds that captivated all eyes. Over 20 young martial mystic cultivators accompanied the Phoenix carriage. At the forefront stood Ku Yao, the Demon Kingdom's second-ranked, alongside a youth clad in an azure dragon emblazoned yellow robe. The youth appeared to be around 15 or 16 years old, his eyes gleaming with arrogance. With his hands clasped behind his back, he scrutinized Li Wei with a condescending gaze. You must be my junior brother, he said, I've heard you're quite strong. Just how strong are you? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Yuzan. Li Wei silently pondered Yuzan's identity. Xuanhuan, show some respect, Second Palace Master Xian Min's voice echoed from within the Phoenix carriage. In the martial mystic path, seniority matters. He's stronger than you. Li Wei, shouldn't you address me as martial aunt? Li Wei knew Xian Min's cultivation had been crippled, yet he still sensed a formidable qi field emanating from the carriage. At her level of cultivation, even her physical body alone possessed terrifying power. Standing as straight as his myriad manifestations staff spear on the embankment, Li Wei faced the biting wind of North Lake with unwavering resolve. As far as I know, Second Palace Master, you've been expelled from the palace. A long silence followed before Xian Min's voice finally spoke again. It doesn't matter. When you see your master, convey my apologies. I will repay what I owe her, no matter the cost. I doubt it will be that easy to repay. Li Wei knew Yu Yaozi was no indecisive person. Xian Min's life would undoubtedly be taken. Yu Zan smiled. Junior brother, you're being rather presumptuous. Do you truly believe that possessing 7 emperor-grade rare insects grants you the right to disregard the transcendent? It remains to be seen whether they even belong to you. Li Wei immediately sensed the young man's cunning, capable of delivering the deadliest words with a smile. Seizing the opportunity, he replied, I do wish they were all emperor-grade rare insects. Alas. Yu Zan cut him off. Spare me the theatrics, junior brother. I watched your battle against the Tai Sui Earth Monarch. Your performance was truly remarkable. You convincingly played the role of someone who could kill a demon emperor's holy embryo. I resolved then and there to learn from you. If those 7 strange insects weren't emperor-grade, how could you have clashed with a first-sequence powerhouse? Who would believe otherwise? Wenren Tinghai approached and bowed respectfully toward the Phoenix carriage. Li Wei shrugged nonchalantly, there's no need to hide anything. While they aren't emperor-grade rare insects, they are the larvae of 7 king-grade strange insects. In time, they will mature into 7 insect kings rivaling the transcendent. The Second Palace Master must have heard of the phoenix-winged dragon-winged butterfly, correct? From within the Phoenix carriage, the Second Palace Master's voice echoed, over 3,000 years ago, when the celestial phenomenon of the Lingxiao life realm's immortal fall appeared, it drank phoenix blood. 2,800 years ago, when the Mist Master slew the flying dragon in the East Sea, it drank dragon blood again. Among king-grade strange insects, the phoenix-winged dragon-winged butterfly is considered a formidable creature. Are you saying your 7 strange insects were born from it? They were born from the phoenix-winged dragon-winged butterfly after it drank from the mother-child spring, Li Wei replied. Wenren Tinghai scoffed, just because you say so. Even as larvae, 7 king-grade strange insects are extraordinary treasures. Raising just one to maturity could allow an ancient sect to dominate the world for millennia. Yu Zhan chuckled, Mother, why don't you capture one and study it? That way, junior brother won't be swindled. A sudden, fierce wind howled across the heavens and earth. How dare you? Do you think you can touch the strange insects Li Wei has raised as you please? A thunderous voice reverberated across the lake. Lady Ji Chun, Sha Jin, and Bai Fang Tang descended from the sky above North Lake, their feet resting on bridges of spiritual qi. Bai Fang Tang's deep, resonant voice carried the imposing aura of his peak cultivation, let alone an ancient sect. Even an entire nation or an ancient sect would pay a terrible price for such ambitions. Old friends, Bai Fang Tang has returned after 1,000 years. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 6, The Struggle for Immortal Realm. Chapter 50, 725 Emperor Realm Psychic Master Zhenhai Guanwu. 50th of Volume 7. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Lady Ji Chun and Demon King Sha Jin radiated an aura as deep and boundless as the sea. Though of the demon race, they possessed no malevolent or ferocious energy, but rather a pure and harmonious Tao resonance. The East Sea and Lingxiao realm were remote, desolate regions, infinitely distant from the 100 realms of the living and isolated from the world. By North Lake, young immortal realm martial mystic cultivators, largely unaware of their origins, exchanged inquiries. These 2 women's cultivation is extraordinary. Look at the vegetation around North Lake. One immortal realm martial mystic cultivator whispered, noticing the miraculous changes in the lakeside flora. Amidst the bitter winter chill, countless withered branches around North Lake silently sprouted tender green buds, and flowers bloomed in succession. Some speculated that their qi had activated the law of life. Judging by their earlier tone, they seemed to be here for Li Wei. Transcendence from the Lingxiao realm. Sent by Yu Yaozi. The Lingxiao realm is said to consist of only 28 prefectures, ranking 44th among mid-tier life realms. How could such a small, shallow pond nurture so many powerful transcendents? Shallow pond. The most recent immortal ascended from that desolate land. The far southern region is renowned for producing martial mystic Tao heavenly emperors. Amidst the clamor, the names, 2 sovereigns of the Eastern Sea, and Demon King Sha Jin, were whispered by elder great immortal experts who had visited the Lingxiao realm and the East Sea, quickly spreading throughout the land. Soon, martial mystic cultivators from various life realms began discussing the earth-shattering ancient tale of how over half of Yingzhou's strongest cultivators had vanished overnight a millennium ago. For centuries, many great human race sages had been investigating this horrifying historical event. Bai Fangtang, one of the vanished powerhouses from 1,000 years past, had finally returned. His reappearance naturally meant he could provide the world's cultivators with definitive answers. Perhaps today, the ancient mystery would be solved, and the vanished cultivators from a millennium ago would return. What an exhilarating prospect. At the summit of Lake Gazing Green Mountain, on the 9th floor of the Immortal Tower, several figures of elder powerhouses materialized beside the white jade balustrade, appearing like immortal spirits from the heavens as they communicated with Bai Fangtang across the void. Moments later, Bai Fangtang and Lady Ji Chun soared across the cloud bridge, landed on the Immortal Tower, and entered the 9th floor. Li Wei gazed at the Immortal Tower, its lights glowing in the distance, and secretly surmised that Master Guan was likely preparing to reveal the truth about the events of 1,000 years ago. If there truly was a spatial rift in southern Yingzhou through which bronze ships had once sailed, this matter was of utmost importance and needed to be shared with all top-tier cultivators. Whoosh. From the Yuheng Immortal Dynasty, an elder expert in an earth-yellow Taoist robe, his hair curled in tight ringlets, teleported beneath the Immortal Tower. He strode inside with ghostly, afterimage-like steps. Clearly, Central Plains was deeply concerned about the events of 1,000 years ago and sought to verify the truth from multiple sources. The rich fragrance of flowers swirled on the wind. Li Wei withdrew his gaze from the Immortal Tower and noticed that the surrounding world was now bathed in a rain of flower petals. These crystalline, translucent petals, formed from heaven and earth's spiritual qi, shimmered with dazzling, ethereal beauty. Demon King Sha Jin was a legendary figure in the Lingxiao realm. Of the 4 great demon kings who had once submitted to the Lingxiao palace, she was the only one still alive. Sha Jin descended from the heavens, landing gracefully atop the jade tablet of the immortal ranking. Her raven black hair cascaded like a waterfall, her figure resembling a celestial immortal descending from the 9 heavens. Yet her true features remained obscured by the blinding radiance of her spiritual chi, leaving only her otherworldly aura discernible. A transcendent aura rippled outward from her in an instant, like waves spreading across water. "Greetings, Demon King," Li Wei said, bowing deeply. She had traveled millions of miles to Xiaoyao capital to support him. This bow was both a sign of respect and gratitude. Zuoqiu Hongting and Kang Li from the Lingxiao realm, along with dozens of Immortal Realm martial mystic cultivators from the 3-clan alliance, all shouted out in unison, "Greetings, Demon King." More cultivators bowed in succession, their voices echoing across the land. Sha Jin's gaze swept across the crowd, briefly lingering on Li Wei before giving a barely perceptible nod. Her voice carried across the battlefield. Those 7 strange insects are indeed larvae of the phoenix-winged dragon-scaled butterfly. Since they follow Li Wei's cultivation, the Lingxiao Palace, Qixia Lake, and the phoenix-winged dragon-scaled butterfly stand behind him. 7 king-grade larvae are invaluable, but I advise you all to consider whether you can afford the consequences before acting. In Xiaoyao capital, a demon king-level aura surged from a distant city domain. An aged, raspy voice boomed across the battlefield. "Lady Ji Chun and Qixia Lake, are you realigning with the Lingxiao Palace? Turning against the demon race?" Sha Jin's head snapped around, her gaze like cold lightning piercing through the air. She locked eyes with the Holy Crow ancestor, who loomed within the demon clouds 100 miles away. The human race and the demon race are allies. How have we become enemies? Ancestor, are you trying to provoke war? The Holy Crow ancestor fell silent, but his resolve to seize the 7 strange insects remained unshaken. Behind him stood the heavenly demon empress. While others might fear the Lingxiao Palace and Lady Ji Chun, the heavenly demon empress held them in utter contempt. From within the phoenix carriage, the second palace master's voice echoed, "Even if they are merely the larvae of 7 king-tier strange insects, they represent the potential to summon 7 insect race armies in the future. Sha Jin, do you truly believe a mere threat can deter the greedy masses of this world?" Kang Li glared coldly at the phoenix carriage, knowing the second palace master was the root cause of the decades of war in the Lingxiao realm. He said in a deep voice, "Forgive my bluntness, but Li Wei's ability to slay the demon emperor's sacred embryo far surpasses the value of 7 king-tier strange insect larvae. If that is the case, why shouldn't Li Wei wield them? The Zhu Li clan stands as his unwavering support. The Zhu Li clan dares to claim themselves as support. A mere junior who has just entered the immortal realm dares to act so presumptuously before transcendence." Yu Zan's eyes gleamed with amusement as he unleashed his battle technique intent, pressing down on Kang Li. Li Wei flashed forward, appearing before Kang Li. His chi erupted, shattering Yu Zan's battle technique intent. A disciple of the Calamity Crossing Temple is not someone you can bully at will. With these words, any further aggression against Kang Li would be a direct insult to the Calamity Crossing Temple and its many disciples. With the Immortal Ascension competition imminent, Yu Zan's foolish attempt at a thankless task was utterly absurd. The Tai Sui Earth Monarch's death has already enraged the heavenly demon empress. The Zhu Li clan's annihilation is imminent, a demon race cultivator sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "You truly know nothing of fear." Su Yuan's spiritual chi merged with his voice, resonating across the land. Even the Immortal Temple and Yuheng Immortal Dynasty of Central Plains tread cautiously when venturing into Li Province. How dare you claim you'll annihilate the Zhu Li clan? Every cultivator present froze in shock, including Li Wei and Kang Li, all utterly bewildered. Was Li Province truly this dangerous? Prince Jingxuan of the Yuheng Immortal Dynasty, his hair adorned with a dragon hairpin, materialized on the lake shore several miles away, his white jade-like radiance enveloping a mile-wide expanse of heaven and earth. Our Imperial Lord encountered immortals twice in Li Province millennia ago. He warned us to never act arrogantly there, lest we bring calamity upon the Immortal Dynasty. The cultivators gathered by North Lake, from young Immortal Realm martial mystic cultivators to venerable transcendents, from Holy Crow Ancestor and the Second Palace Master to the human elites atop Immortal Tower, were all stunned by this revelation. Since Yu Jia's departure from Yingzhou, no living being on the continent had ever reached the Immortal Realm. In an era without immortals, why had the Yuheng Immortal Dynasty's Imperial Lord twice encountered immortals in the remote Lingxiao realm? Could immortals be secretly dwelling there? Boom! The entire North Lake erupted into turmoil. This news ignited countless speculations, shaking the very foundations of their beliefs. Those Central Plains Immortal Dynasty cultivators are arrogant and proud. They would never make such claims lightly, lest they lose face. This must be true. No wonder the Immortal Dao Dragon Meridian Veins is reviving there. Could this be the work of immortals? The Lingxiao realm, isolated in the far south, has never been swallowed by the nether realm of the dead or the great wilderness demon plains. That alone speaks volumes. The demon race cultivators present, including the Holy Crow Ancestor in the distant city domain, froze in place, as if thunder had struck their minds. Whether true or false, whether millennia had passed or not, who dared gamble? Not even the imperial lord of the Yuheng immortal dynasty. Zhuo Xuanhuan quickly regained her composure, recalling the fortuitous encounter in Burial Immortal Town. A playful glint appeared in her eyes as she glanced at Li Wei, who stood 5 steps away. Li Wei understood her and spoke in Q. Adopting a thoughtful expression, he murmured to himself, upon reflection, some of the bizarre incidents I've encountered during my cultivation journey might indeed be connected to immortals. Oh. What bizarre incidents? Zhuo Xuanhuan asked. The surrounding gazes were drawn to their conversation. Li Wei replied solemnly, I may have encountered one of the Zhu Li gods. Is this related to the Zhu Li god battle technique intent that Li Jufu and Yaoyan obtained? Zhuo Xuanhuan blurted out. Yaoyan was no longer an obscure young girl but a disciple of the temple master of Calamity Crossing Temple. Information about the Zhu Li god's battle method intent was easily accessible. Li Wei nodded slightly, then frowned deeply, it's hard to say. That old man. Under the gaze of countless eyes, Li Wei trailed off mid-sentence, swallowing his words as if burdened by an unspeakable secret. You've truly seen the Zhu Li gods. Zhuo Xuanhuan blinked, fully aware Li Wei was acting, yet still drawn into his performance, half convinced he might have genuinely encountered the Zhu Li gods. Around them, Xuanhuan held his breath, waiting for Li Wei to continue. Even Sha Jin, standing atop the jade tablet of the Earth ranking, and the second palace master, seated in her phoenix carriage, turned their gazes toward Li Wei. Li Wei waved his hand and sighed deeply. It couldn't have been. If immortals resided in Li province, they would have intervened during the Nether Realm cataclysm 1,000 years ago. No. It couldn't have been the Zhu Li gods. Not an immortal. Su Yuan quickly interjected, forgive my bluntness, but the heights to which immortals ascend are beyond our comprehension. Throughout history, some who achieved immortal realm led living beings in campaigns against the nether realm of the dead, expanding the life realm's territory. Others simply departed, sailing across the seas. It's perfectly normal for immortals to abstain from intervening in the conflicts between the living and the dead spirits of Yingzhou. Just as humans differ, so too do immortals. Sha Jin had already seen through Li Wei's charade. Wasting no more time, she retrieved a 3-inch-long jade talisman from her sleeve, holding it between her jade-like fingers. The Emperor Psychic Master descends. The entire city kneels in welcome. Whoosh! A beam of bright spiritual light erupted from the jade talisman, shooting skyward. The spiritual light struck the cloud layer and exploded outward, rapidly illuminating the dark clouds above Xiaoyao capital into a sea of light. Zhenhai Guanwu, clad in crimson robes, stood atop the luminous cloud sea beneath the starry sky, radiating the aura of an empress descending. Her presence dominated the land for thousands of miles, causing the heaven and earth's spiritual chi to surge ceaselessly. It was not her true form, merely a manifestation of holy spiritual light. Yet the emperor's power was overwhelming. Zhenhai Guanwu's psychic power has returned to the realm of Emperor Psychic Master. In the Xiaoyao Palace, not far from North Lake, the Demon Queen emerged from her golden tower and jade hall, gazing at the manifested figure above the clouds. Her judgment was firm. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel.